Hi, welcome back to this month's Sit and Sip with Dr. Megan Rose. So y'all are just posting some fantastic questions on Facebook these days, and I promise I'm making note of them, and I will try to get to them all. Know that I am looking at them and adding them to my list, but there was one that was just posted recently that I thought was super juicy, and again, like last month's Sit and Sip, it's because I have a direct experience with this particular question, and that is, can humans have bonded or married relationships with natural objects like plant spirits, or trees or crystals, rocks, ocean, even hills, mountains? And the short answer of that is absolutely. And the more elaborate answer is that, if you've read my book, you'll know that I interviewed a West African shrine keeper who is married to a redwood tree. And that redwood tree is the like the axis mundi, right? The anchor for her spirit beloved in that tradition, which is a sort of a fatherly male energy called Tinggun. And Tinggun always manifests through a tree. And so when it became clear through different divinations that she needed to marry this spirit, her job was to go out and find a tree that would manifest and anchor that energy. So one of the aspects of the question is, how do these come about? So in her case, it was done through divination. Elders in her community divined that they needed someone to be the shrine keeper for the Tinggun spirit for that community, and so that was sort of the job that she was assigned. And it literally, the term for it is the Tinggun Sob, the job of the Tinggun shrine keeper. Sob means job. But that's in a very well-crafted and structured tradition, the Dagara people of Burkina Faso. But there are lots of other examples. I also, in my book, talk about people who are married to a plant spirit, like the story of the woman who's married to ajo sacho. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ajo sacho, which is wild garlic. And she did a diet on this plant, and the plant asked to marry her. And a diet is where you're eating copious amounts around and ingesting and filling yourself with copious amounts of this particular plant. And so that the spirit becomes your co-walker. And in this case, the spirit asked to marry her and talked about their commingling. And, also in the Druidic tradition, Druids in many different traditions will marry the earth and take a particular place as sacred to their relationship with the earth. And that could be a tree, it could be a rocky outcropping, it could be a body of water, and then they are kind of the steward and the beloved of that place. And so, and this begins to extend into an aspect of objectum sexuality, which is when you're married to something that is what we call an object or a thing, but that thing is infused with spirit and with essence and with intelligence, like a statue or a morti, and becomes enlivened with the spirit that you are working with. And so there are ways, and this kind of gets into the spirit house conversation, there are ways that you can, and through like a theurgy lens or through awakening an object to house a spirit, and living things like trees or plants. There's already, right, a deva or a plant spirit, a fairy that is associated with it, a dryad, if you will, that lives there and that you might have a relationship with, and it might be committed and bonded. And certainly in my own experience with Gwyn ap Neith, who is the Welsh god of fairy in the underworld, he has a very specific tree, the hawthorn tree, in Glastonbury that he's associated with, and that I have been to and had really powerful encounters there. So I hope that gives a little more clarity on that question. Have a wonderful October Samhain, and I will see you all next month. Mwah.